graduating into the unknown, starting a new chapter. On the eve of graduation, two friends, Evelyn and Lucas, reflect in the school garden.
Can you believe it, Lucas? Tomorrow's our graduation. It feels so surreal.
It really does. It's like we're closing a significant chapter of our lives. Time has flown by.
I'm super pumped. But I'm also a little nervous about what comes next. The thought of everything changing is a little frightening.
Try to think of it as a new beginning. We'll experience new things and meet new people.
That's true. What's your plan for the future?
I'm planning to study engineering. What about you?
I don't have a solid plan yet, but I'm leaning toward medicine. I've always wanted to be a doctor and help people.
It sounds like we both have our paths set. But let's promise to stay in touch no matter where we end up.
I promise. After all that we've been through together, you know we're friends for a lifetime.
You're right. We won't let our friendship fade with distance.
Welcome everyone to English for You. I'm Adam.
And I'm Elsie.
And today we are talking about school graduation. Ooh, now did you feel nervous, Elsie, when you graduated from high school?
No, I wasn't nervous at all. I was super excited.
Really? Okay.
But I thought I might not see my close friends again, so I was a little bit sad.
All right. Well, yeah, and that's a fear that most people probably have when you are graduating. And everyone in our article today will be talking about two friends that are facing that same situation. So now let's check out their conversation. Okay, everyone. On the eve of graduation, two friends, Evelyn and Lucas, reflect in the school garden.
那这边看到的时间是 eve 这个是什么时间呢？这个是前一夜或是前夕。那 graduation 就是毕业典礼，所以在毕典前夕啊 ，Evelyn and Lucas they reflect 这个动词呢是仔细思考、反省。
Yeah, they're thinking all about the memories of
think about what they did together or maybe at school or what they learned.
Exactly. And so Evelyn starts off our conversation by saying, "Can you believe it, Lucas? Tomorrow's our graduation. It feels so surreal."
Surreal 这个形容词是超现实的 like something from a dream.
Yeah, like I can't believe it's happening. It seems like, it's so mystical.
所以 real 是真实的嘛，那 surreal 就是超现实的。
Right.
And what does Lucas say?
Well, Lucas answers by saying, "It really does. It's like we're closing a significant chapter of our lives. Time has flown by." So in that last sentence, we hear Lucas say it's a significant chapter of our lives. Significant is an adjective and it means important or having an important effect or meaning. So everyone, we can say, as an example, winning the championship was a significant achievement for the team. And we also heard Lucas say, time flies by or time flies. And that means that time passes quickly or seems to go by fast. A lot of times you'll hear us native speakers saying, time flies by when you're having fun.
那这边为同学们整理一下哦，刚刚讲到的 significant 这个形容词是重要的或是有特殊意义的。那有一个字搭配在后面，这个字是 other， significant other 指的就是重要的另一半，那可能就是配偶啦或是伴侣。那再来呢，我们看到 a significant chapter of our lives， 它在讲的就是我们人生当中的一个重要篇章。那再来，刚 Adam 有提到的 time flies by 或是 time flies。指的是时光飞逝，那在课文当中啊，用的是这个现在完成式，指的是时光已经飞逝，时间已经过去，所以是 time has flown by.
Right, and a lot of things, you guys and girls out there, we use that especially if you're doing something fun. So for an example, let's just say you're playing video games, right? Everyone likes video games. All of a sudden you're playing, it's 2 o'clock when you start, and then your mom's like, hey, it's dinner time. You're like, what? Where'd the time go?
Where did the time go?
Right, time flies by. Well, let's see how Evelyn responds. Evelyn says, I'm super pumped, but I'm also a little nervous about what comes next. The thought of everything changing is a little frightening. And then we see the word pumped. Pump is an adjective and it means feeling excited or energized. So I could say, I'm so pumped up or I'm so pumped to finally start my new job tomorrow. We also see that she's a little frightened. It's frightening. So we see that as an adjective and it means something that is scary or causes fear. So an example we could all use, everyone, is the movie we watched last night was so frightening that I couldn't sleep afterwards.
所以刚刚看到的 pumped 或是 pumped up 指的就是兴奋的、热情高涨的。So like you, before you go to the gym, you listen to rock music to get yourself pumped.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I've listened to rock and heavy metal music, and it really gets me pumped up to, go to the gym and hit the gym really hard.
So we can say, I'm pumped or I'm pumped up.
Exactly, yes.
那再来还有一个形容词是 frightening, 可怕的、吓人的。想到接下来的人生当中，一切都将改变，确实是挺吓人的。所以令人害怕的，我们用 frightening 这个形容词。那如果是人本身感到害怕，我们说 frightened, 也就是 scared 的意思。好，所以呢，我们可以说 somebody is frightened of something. 那原形动词呢是 frighten 这个字，那就是害怕、惊吓。Frighten somebody 使某人惊吓 ，frighten somebody to death 那就是把某人给吓死。
And I'm frightened of you when you get angry at me. All right. Well, Lucas goes back by saying, try to think of it as a new beginning. We'll experience new things and meet new people. Think of something or somebody as, we see in that sentence, means to consider something or somebody in a specific way. So you think of something or think of somebody as something else.
所以这个呢，中文我们解释为认为是。那 Lucas 就说了，把它想成是新的开始吧，我们会经历新的事物，然后也会认识新的人。
All right. And so Evelyn responds by saying, hey, that's true. What's your plan for the future?
你对未来有什么计划呢？ Evelyn 就这样问了 Lucas. So Adam, what was your answer when somebody asked you this question before your graduation?
Before graduation from high school, like, what's your plan for the future, Adam? That's a good question because I really didn't know. I didn't have that specific idea of what I wanted to do. And I was kind of jealous of people that already knew what they wanted to do after high school. So I was kind of, I don't know, I will go to college but I don't know really what I want to do. What about you, Elsie?
I knew at that time I wanted to study English.
Okay.
And I wanted to major in English.
Oh, wow. Okay. So you already knew from the very beginning.
Yes.
Okay. Well, let's get back to Lucas and see what he has to say. Well, Lucas says, I'm planning to study engineering. What about you?
Engineering 是这个 Lucas 想要学的东西，那这个是工程学、工程设计是个名词，那出来之后可能就会成为一位 engineer 工程师。
It takes a lot of time and studying to be an engineer, right?
Right. What about Evelyn? What does she want to do?
Right. Let's see what Evelyn has to say. Well, Evelyn is maybe like me, right? So Evelyn says, I don't have a solid plan yet, but I'm leaning toward medicine. I've always wanted to be a doctor and help people.
Okay, and we saw the word solid. I don't have a solid plan yet.
Right. All right.
What does it mean?
Well, we'll talk about it here. So everyone, we heard Evelyn say, I don't have a solid plan. And solid means something you can trust or depend on, and it has a strong foundation or basis. So an example sentence, we could say, Sarah's knowledge of math is solid. She always gets top grades in the subject. So she has a strong foundation for math. So it is very solid.
Solid 这个形容词呢，在这里解释为坚实的或是确定的。A solid plan 那就是一个确定的计划。那另外呢 ，solid 也可以指固体的或是实心的。那另外呢，我们还看到lean toward something 这个是倾向于，所以当你说 I'm leaning toward something 那就是我目前倾向于做某事。所以 Evelyn 目前倾向读医学 medicine 因为她想要当医生帮助人。
Right, so she doesn't have a solid plan, but she likes medicine, so she's leaning towards that direction.
Right.
Okay, and Lucas answers by saying, it sounds like we both have our paths set.But let's promise to stay in touch no matter where we end up. Okay, so we see the word where no matter where we end up. And end up means to finish or find oneself in a certain situation, usually without planning it that way. So end up in this sentence means wherever we eventually find ourselves or wherever we eventually go.But we'll stay in touch.
End up 这个片语呢，代表的是最后处于某个状态，结果成为。所以呢，它后面有3种接续下去的方式。第一个，你可以加上 VING；第二个，你可以加上形容词；第三个，你可以加上介系词片语。好，所以呢，end up losing all his money， 这可能会是一个结果，对不对？比如说某事发生，然后这个人最后失去了他所有的钱，这边的 losing all his money 就用到 losing 这个 VING。那再来还有像是他很爱花钱，所以最后变成一个这个 broke 破产的状态。那这个 broke 就是个形容词接在后方。那或者是有人做了坏事，然后最后 end up in prison。in prison 这个介系词片语，那就是代表他被关进监牢里面了。
Right, if you do crime or you rob a bank, you will end up in prison.All right, well, Evelyn responds by saying, I promise, after all that we've been through together, you know we're friends for a lifetime. And a lifetime, wow, that's a long time, right?
That is a long time.
Just by listening to that word, we see lifetime, and it is the entire duration of someone's life, from the beginning to the end. So an example sentence, we could say,The memories made during that trip will last a lifetime.
Oh, very sweet.
Oh, I try to be, yeah.
Lifetime 就是 life 加上 time， 所以很好记。它这个字就是一生的时间。
Right? And so Lucas responds by saying, You're right. We won't let our friendship fade with distance. So there we see the verb fade. And fade means to slowly disappear, lose importance,or become weaker. So an example we could all use, everyone, is the memories I have of my childhood home are starting to fade as I get older. So they're not as clear as they once were. They're going away. All right.
Fade 这个动词呢，指的是逐渐消失，变得无足轻重。那我们也可以用 fade away 来说。那另外呢 ，fade 也可以是褪色啦、变暗或是衰退的意思。For example, the light is fading， 代表灯光越来越暗。Clothes 衣服也会接上 fade 这个字，那代表什么呢？代表你的衣服的颜色渐渐褪去。所以最后呢 Lucas 就跟 Evelyn 说，我们一定要 stay in touch 保持联络，不要让我们的友谊因为距离而逐渐消失。So did you say that to anyone before graduation?
I think you always kind of say it to people. I don't know.
You didn't mean it?
Yeah, maybe you don't always mean it, where you're like, oh yeah, we'll stay in touch. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'll give you a call.
I'll give you a call, yeah, But at that time in high school, I'll tell you how old I am. We didn't have Facebook, so it's not like, you can text me on Facebook or add me on IG. So it was a lot harder then.
So you had to call somebody.
You had to actually call somebody and hope they didn't change their number. So it wasn't as easy to stay in contact or keep in touch with someone after you graduated.
Right, but are you still in contact with some, maybe your high school friends?
I have one that I am still in touch with, yes. And actually, everyone, that brings us to our For You chat question. And it says today, What are some ways people can maintain relationships after graduations?
So after graduation, people can maintain relationships by
Like what?
hanging out together sometimes.
Yeah,
Maybe once a month or
right, making a plan.
yeah,
And trying to stay
making a
together.
plan to meet up.
Right. Yeah, and also with technology these days, you can always just add someone to whatever app that you're using.
Yeah, your WhatsApp or your Line or WeChat.
Right. I mean, we never did it because in the US, everyone, a lot of people after high school graduation, they might go to different cities. And so the college I went to was about 12 hours away from the city I grew up in.
12 hours away by driving?
By driving, yeah. So about 2 to 3 hours by flying. And so it was hard to stay in touch. But I think it is important to maintain some of those, friendships.
Yeah. Give
Right?
each other a call.
Right.
Once in a while.
Exactly. And what do you guys think? What are some ways maybe we didn't talk about that you can maintain relationships after graduations? What will you do? All right. Well, stay tuned for the next one. My name is Adam.
And I'm Elsie.
We'll see you next time.
See you soon.
Vocabulary Review. Significant. Chocolate is a significant part of this cake. Without it, the cake would taste completely different. A national flag is a symbol that can have significant cultural meaning. It represents a country's identity and culture. Pumped. The crowd was pumped for the football match. There was singing and cheering all around. Frightening. Walking through the dark forest was a frightening experience, but I had my big brother with me. Solid. The lawyer presented her argument with facts and solid data and won the case. Lifetime. My father did many great things in his lifetime, including raising a family and opening a successful business. Fade. The singer only really had one popular album, but then she faded from public view.
智慧小补帖。
Graduation. Reflect. Surreal. Engineering. Lean toward something.